Good Monday morning. All members of the House will come to the chamber and take your seats. Members of the House will come to the chamber and take your seats. This is the hour of convening, and it has arrived. All members will please take their seats. Mr. Clerk, will you ring the bell? All members will come to the floor. We're going to have the morning roll call. All members present will please vote green to signify their presence in the chamber. Mr. Clerk, will you unlock the machines? Have all members voted? I see a couple. Have all members now voted themselves present? If so, Mr. Clerk, will you lock the machines? Doorkeepers, will you please close the doors and keep them closed? As is our custom, we will begin our day with scripture reading and prayer by our chaplain, after which we will pledge allegiance to the flag of our country. Our chaplain today is brought to us and will be introduced by the lady from the 135th House District, Representative Beth Camp. Chair Lady Camp.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's an honor to be before you today to introduce Billy Smith. Billy Smith is a humble individual. He is the pastor of Christ Chapel Church in Zebulon, Georgia, which now has 7 campuses. He is married to the lovely Tina, and they have 4 beautiful children, and their second to the youngest is here today, Max, and he's a guest here with his dad, and we're thankful for his presence here. In a world where a lot of people don't listen, I'm going to give Billy Smith a lot of credit. He listens to everyone. He is so kind and compassionate, and it's an honor to introduce him today. So, Pastor Billy Smith.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to have you, Billy.
Good morning.
Glad to have you again.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here once again to share some scripture and some thoughts for our morning devotion. Thank you, Representative Camp and Speaker Burns. Thanks for the opportunity. In the English language, words change over time. Something that meant something 25 years ago may mean something completely different now. And I'm learning that there's a generation behind me that uses words in a way that I completely don't understand. Maybe you have kids or grandkids and they're saying stuff and you're like, I don't know what you're talking about. But years ago, if somebody would have called you a goat or an old goat, that would not have been something that was very flattering. But the word has changed. You know, goat now is the greatest of all time. And for somebody to call you a goat is actually a wonderful thing, you know. So Some of you guys, I'll give you a tip. Go home and tell your old lady, hey, you're the GOAT, and see how that goes today. But explain to her it means she's the greatest of all times, right? There's a controversy and conversations about GOATs in all kind of different categories. If you're talking about basketball, then the current generation may say it's LeBron James or Steph Curry. I heard a boo over here. If you're from my generation and watched basketball in the 80s and 90s, then we would say it was definitely Michael Jordan as the GOAT. And if you're older than me and you watch Wilt Chamberlain, maybe you're saying, no, young man, you don't know. Wilt was the man. In soccer, football all around the world is what they call it. Maybe it's Messi or Ronaldo. And in the business world, maybe people are considering the GOATs, people like Bill Gates or Warren Buffett. Jesus had some interesting things to say about people who wanted to be great. First of all, he didn't say it was wrong to want to be great, but he said there are some contingencies connected to greatness that your culture and your world are not going to teach you. And I want to read you a passage from Mark chapter 10, verse 43. Jesus was speaking to his followers, and he said, not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to be great among you must become a servant, must serve others. For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve others and to give his life as a ransom for many. It seems to me that Jesus is saying in the kingdom world, greatness is not determined by your status, but it's determined by your service, by what we give people, how we treat others. And Jesus didn't only teach this kind of servanthood, but he lived it out often. It didn't take but a brief moment in the Gospels to see that Jesus was always looking for opportunities to help and serve other people. James and John got into a heated argument at the Last Supper. Maybe you're familiar with this. They wanted to know, could I sit on the left and he sit on the right when you take over, Jesus? They thought he was going to have an earthly kingdom, and that was not what he was here for. He was here for a bigger purpose, to take care of our sin that humanity had created, and I am so grateful for that today. But James and John were saying, hey, when you take over, we're the GOAT. Don't forget us. We're the elite. We want you to remember us. And Jesus, it's not in commentary, so I don't want you to think I'm mad into Scripture, but I can almost imagine his frustration after modeling servanthood for so long, and here they are having the Last Supper, and James and John are fighting, who's the greatest. I think maybe Jesus probably shook his head and went, these boys are never going to get it. They're just not going to figure it out. Jesus looked out there, and what he saw when he looked at his followers at that supper was he saw proud hearts and dirty feet. There have been times in my life I didn't serve others because of my own pride and my arrogance, my self-importance. And Jesus is teaching us today that when we do it unto the least of these, we do it unto him. Jesus got up on that day when he saw dirty feet, and he did what the other ones weren't willing to do. Everybody saw that their feet were dirty. It was custom in that culture that somebody would be positioned at the door to wash the feet of the disciples or whoever was entering the home. They had been traveling to make sure that their feet were clean and they were prepared and ready for the meal. And that detail had been overlooked. And Jesus saw that along with the other disciples, but only one person stood up in that room and said, I will serve you today. Jesus got up from the meal, this is John chapter 13, took off his outer clothing, wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the feet of the disciples, drying them with a towel that he had wrapped around him. What an amazing example that the King of Glory, the God of the universe, was looking for opportunities to serve others. I want to say this, from just a citizen in the state of Georgia, I appreciate you guys serving our state. I think we got the best state in the United States. I believe that. And I think it's because of the people in this room. But I want to ask you, as I ask myself today, are we serving others the way that Jesus expects? A couple of weeks ago, I watched a friend of mine take 2 days off from work to help another mutual friend who had recently gone through the tragedy of divorce. He took 2 days off of his job to help him move the contents of his home. I'm going to tell you something. You got to love somebody to help them move. Can I get an amen this morning, right? All that junk out there. But he served him. I watched a guy who lives in North Georgia he actually has a business in North Georgia in Canton, but he lives in Zebulon, and he heard of the need of some middle school boys in our school who were missing some fathers, and they were making some bad decisions. And I watched a guy who's very busy and very successful say, you know what, I'll take 2 afternoons a month and come home early. I want to serve these boys. They have a future, and we don't want to see it ruined. I recently have stood in front of my congregation and at other campuses that we have and asked people who attended the main service, the prime time service, to say, hey, I want you to serve other people and go to a different service time. Because we have people who are coming and they don't have seats, and a family of 5 can't sit together. And there's an expectation for us to prefer the other. And I watch people change their whole Sunday morning routine so that they could serve other people and make sure that when they got to God's house, they had a seat. I can do better in this regard. I think I could become a better server. I could look for needs. We have a saying at Christ Chapel, find a need and meet it, find a hurt and heal it. And they are all around us. I want to just ask God to give us ears to hear and eyes to see all the people around us that are hurting. Thank you for your time today. Would you stand and allow me to pray? And after that, we'll stay standing for the pledge. Lord, across this room are some really incredible leaders, people who have worked hard to find their place to help lead this wonderful state. I pray that today is a day that they make progress. I pray that this state becomes better than it's ever been. I believe in Georgia. I believe in the people in this room. And I pray that you honor them and bless their homes, their families, their businesses, their places where they worship. Would you bless them today? I pray those things in the wonderful name of Christ. Amen. Let's do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You can be seated. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Brother Billy. Thank you for that message. We thank you for your ministry. We thank you for your ministry at Christ Chapel. We're going to take a photo. Thank you for what you're doing. Your success is evident. Doorkeepers, you may unlock the doors. Members, you can join Brother Billy in the south standing room for a photo and thank him for his message today. Members, our doctor of today is brought to us by Representative Jenny Earhart of the 36th House District. It's Dr. Debbie Dalton. If you need any medical assistance, she's down in the medical aid station. Dr. Debbie Dalton, thank you, Doc, for being here today and taking care of these members. Chairman Hilton, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, is recognized. Chairman Hilton.
Good morning, Mr. Speaker. Rain, snow, or shine, today's a great day to be a Georgian. Your Committee on Information and Audits has read the journal the previous day and found it to be correct.
Chairman Hilton, the chair of the Committee on Information and Audits, reports that the journal of the previous legislative day has been read and found to be correct. Is there any objection to dispense with the reading of the journal? The chair hears none. The reading of the journal is dispensed with. Is there any objection to the confirmation of the journal? The chair hears none, and the journal is confirmed. Mr. Clerk, will you read the resolution establishing the order of business for the day?
Representative Administration, in the 104th moves following be established as the order of business during the first part of the period. Unanimous consents. Introduction of bills and resolutions. First reading and reference of House bills and resolutions. Second reading of bills and resolutions. Morning orders.
Is there any objection to the adoption of the resolution establishing the order of business for the day? Hearing none, the resolution is adopted. First reading of bills and resolutions, the clerk will read.
House Bill 94 by Representative Lumsden of the 12th, Taylor of the 173rd, Hawkins of the 27th, Cooper of the 45th, and Silcox of the 53rd. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 24, Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to insurance generally.
Health.
House Bill 95 by Representative Parker of the 107th, Jackson of the 128th, Griffin of the 149th, Herring of the 145th, Clark of the 108th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 and Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 96 by Representative Parker of the 107th, Hughley of the 141st, Iowa of the 50th, Griffin of the 149th, Clark of the 108th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 11 and Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to taxes on tobacco and vaping products.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 97 by Representative Parker of the 107th, Griffin of the 149th, Jackson of the 128th, and Herring of the 145th. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 7, Chapter 4 of Title 49 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to medical assistance generally.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 98 by Representative Hughley of the 141st, Herring of the 145th, Clark of the 108th, Griffin of the 149th, Jackson of the 128th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 99 by Representative Hughley of the 141st, Bennett of the 94th, Buckner of the 137th, Herring of the 145th, Clark of the 108th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 100 by Representative Douglas of the 78th, Hawkins of the 27th, Howell of the 50th, Prince of the 132nd, Bennett of the 94th, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 24, Title 33 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to insurance generally.
Insurance.
House Bill 101 by Representative Douglas of the 78th, Hawkins of the 27th, Evans of the 57th, Kelly the 16th, Prince of the 132nd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Part 1 of Article 1 of Chapter 18 and Title 45 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to state employees' health insurance plan.
Insurance.
House Bill 102 by Representative Cooper of the 45th, Newton of the 127th, Silcox of the 53rd, Hawkins of the 27th, Howell of the 50th. Bill be titled an act to amend Chapter 2, Title 31 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Department of Community Health.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 103 by Representative Smith of the 138th, Huddleston of the 72nd, Buckner of the 137th. Bill be titled an act to amend an act to provide a homestead exemption from Troup County School District ad valorem taxes.
Intergovernmental Coordination.
House Bill 104 by Representative Cox of the 28th, Jaspers of the 11th, Barrett of the 24th, Cannon of the 172nd, and Irwin of the 32nd. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 6, Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated the Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 105 by Representative Wade of the 9th, Gamble of the 15th, Hong of the 103rd, McDonald of the 3rd of the 26th, Irwin of the 32nd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Code Section 45-978 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to payment of indemnification for death or disability.
Education.
House Bill 106 by Representative Barnes of the 86th, Westbrook of the 163rd, Alexander of the 66th, McLean of the 109th, Lupton of the 83rd, and others. Bill be titled an act to amend Article 6, Chapter 2, Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Quality Basic Education Act.
Education.
House Bill 107 by Representative Ballard of the 147th, Bonner of the 73rd, Clark of the 100th, Jones of the 25th, and Osteen of the 169th. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 1 of Title 43 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to general provisions of professions and businesses.
Defense and Veterans Affairs.
House Bill 108 by Representative Bonner of the 73rd, Clark of the 100th, Prince of the 132nd, Cannon of the 172nd, and Hitchens of the 161st. Bill be titled Act to amend Part 2 of Article 15 to Chapter 1 of Title 10 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to the Fair Businesses Practice Act of 1975.
Defense and Veterans Affairs.
House Bill 109 by Representative Barnes of the 86th, Oliver of the 84th, Iowa of the 50th, Hutchinson of the 106th, Park of the 107th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Title 37 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to mental health.
Public and Community Health.
House Bill 110 by Representative Bonner of the 73rd, Ballard of the 147th, Gullett of the 19th, Clark of the 100th, and Westbrook of the 163rd. Bill be titled Act to amend Part 5 of Article 3 of Chapter 12 of Title 44 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to pawnbrokers.
Defense and Veterans Affairs.
House Bill 111 by Representative Hong of the 103rd, Gamble of the 15th, McDonald of the 3rd of the 26th, Wade of the 9th, Williamson of the 112th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 2, Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to imposition rate computation exemptions and credits relative to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 112 by Representative McDonald III of the 26th, Hong of the 103rd, Gamble of the 15th, Wade of the 9th, Powell of the 33rd, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 48 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to income taxes.
Ways and Means.
House Bill 113 by Representative McDonald III of the 26th, Hong of the 103rd, Gamble of the 15th, Wade of the 9th, Powell of the 33rd, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Title 50 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to state government.
Governmental Affairs.
House Bill 114 by Representative McDonald III of the 26th, Crow of the 118th, Hitchens of the 161st, Lumpson of the 12th, Barrett of the 24th. Bill be titled Act to amend Code Section 41(8) of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to safe operations of motor carriers.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 115 by Representative Petrie of the 166th, Stevens of the 164th, Franklin of the 160th, Townsend of the 179th, Deloach of the 167th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 7 of Title 52 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to registration, operation, and sale of watercraft.
Game, Fish, and Parks.
House Bill 116 by Representative McDonald III of the 26th, Crow of the 118th, Hitchens of the 161st, Lumsden of the 12th, Barrett of the 24th. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 5 of Chapter 2 of Title 35 and Title 40 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to Motor Carrier Compliance Division.
Motor Vehicles.
House Bill 117 by Representative Petrie of the 166th, Williams of the 168th, Townsend of the 179th, Deloach of the 167th, and Franklin of the 160th. Bill be titled Act to amend Article 13 of Chapter 2 of Title 26 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to food service establishments.
Agriculture and Consumer Affairs.
House Bill 118 by Representative Townsend of the 179th, Mathiak of the 82nd, Hawkins of the 27th, Kelly of the 16th, Newton of the 127th, and others. Bill be titled Act to amend Chapter 1A of Title 20 of the Official Code of Georgia annotated relating to early care and learning.
Education.
House Resolution 40 by Representative Douglas, the 78th, Williams, the 148th, Holcomb of the 101st, Taylor, the 173rd, Hughley of the 141st, and others. A resolution creating the House Study Committee on Reassurance for Essential Industries.
Special Rules.
House Resolution 41 by Representative Schofield of the 63rd, Mathiak of the 82nd, Jackson of the 68th, Scott of the 76th, and Davis of the 87th, and others. A resolution urging Congress to reduce the waiting period for determination and approval.
Industry and Labor.
House Resolution 42 by Representative Gamble of the 15th, Hong of the 103rd, McDonald III of the 26th, Wade of the 9th, Blackman of the 146th, and others. A resolution ratifying Governor Brian P. Kemp's executive orders number 10-1-2402.
Ways and Means.
House Resolution 49 by Representative Sanchez of the 42nd Canon of the 58th, Roman of the 97th, Bill of the 75th, Parks of the 107th, and others. A resolution recognizing January 18, 2025 as Manuel Esteban Paez Terran Day.
Special Rules.
That completes first readers.
Second reading of bills and resolutions. The clerk will read.
House Bill 67 by Representative Burns of the 159th, Jones of the 47th, Astration of the 104th, Hatchett of the 155th, a bill to amend an act making and providing appropriations for state fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, ending June 30th, 2025. House Bill 68 by Representative Burns of the 159th, Jones of the 47th, Astration of the 104th, Hatchett of the 155th, a bill to make and provide appropriations for the state fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026. House Bill 69 by Representative Burns of the 159th, Jones of the 47th, Astration of the 104th, Hatchett of the 155th. A bill to amend an act providing and making appropriations for the state fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, ending June 30th, 2025. House Bill 70 by Representative Burns of the 159th, Jones of the 47th, Astration of the 104th, and Hatchett of the 155th. A bill to amend an act making and providing appropriations for the state fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2024, and ending June 30th, 2025. House Bill 71 by Representative Burns of the 159th, Jones of the 47th, Astration of the 104th, Hatchett of the 155th, a bill to make and provide appropriations for the state fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026. House Bill 72 by Representative Burns of the 159th, Jones of the 47th, Astration of the 104th, and Hatchett of the 155th, a bill to make and provide appropriations for the state fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 30th, 2026. House Bill 73 by Representative Green of the 154th, a bill to amend an act creating the Board of Education of Seminole County. House Bill 74 by Representative Powell of the 33rd, Washburn of the 144th, Jaspers of the 11th, Wilkerson of the 38th, Oliver of the 84th, and others, a bill to amend the Georgia Lottery for Education Act. House Bill 75 by Representative Ridley of the 22nd, Ridley of the 6th, Horner of the 3rd, Tarbin of the 2nd, Chastain of the 7th, and others, a bill relating to general provisions relative to animal protection. House Bill 76 by Representative Evans of the 57th, Smith of the 138th, Berry of the 56th, a bill relating to development of transportation plans, public hearing, approval of plans by board, promulgation of rules and regulations by the Department of Transportation. House Bill 77 by Representative Franklin of the 160th, Yarta of the 152nd, Cameron of the 1st, Richardson of the 125th, Corbett of the 174th, a bill relating to right-of-way for operators of motor vehicles. House Bill 78 by Representative Franklin of the 160th, Carson of the 46th, Richardson of the 125th, Yarta of the 152nd, Cameron of the 1st, a bill to amend the Public Retirement System Investment Authority Law. House Bill 79 by Representative Newton of the 127th, Cooper of the 45th, Reeves of the 99th, Hilton of the 48th, Silcox of the 53rd, and others, a bill relating to income taxes. House Bill 80 by Representative Westbrook of the 163rd, Oliver of the 84th, Crawford of the 89th, Paris of the 142nd, Stevens of the 164th, a bill relating to disposition of property seized. House Bill 81 by Representative Ballard of the 147th, Irwin of the 32nd, Townsend of the 179th, Persinger of the 119th, Dubnick of the 29th, and others, a bill relating to education compacts. House Bill 82 by Representative Reeves of the 99th, Martinez of the 111th, Oliver of the 84th, Powell of the 33rd, Werkheiser of the 157th, and others, a bill relating to labor and industrial relations. House Bill 83 by Representative Owl of the 50th, Stevens of the 164th, Hawkins of the 27th, Green of the 154th, Buckner of the 137th, a bill relating to taxes on tobacco and vaping products. House Bill 84 by Representative Owl of the 50th, Stevens of the 164th, Hawkins of the 27th, Green of the 154th, Buckner of the 137th, a bill relating to taxes on tobacco and vaping products. House Bill 85 by Representative Leverett of the 123rd, Astration of the 104th, Burchett of the 176th, Hong of the 103rd, Gunter of the 8th, and others, a bill relating to general provisions concerning superior courts. House Bill 86 by Representative Leverett of the 123rd, Astration of the 104th, Burchett of the 176th, Hong of the 103rd, Gunter of the 8th, and others, a bill relating to annual salaries of certain state officials and cost of living adjustments. House Bill 87 by Representative Clark of the 100th, Wiedauer of the 121st, Mathiak of the 82nd, Williams of the 148th, Schofield of the 63rd, and others, a bill relating to insurance. House Bill 88 by Representative Barnes of the 86th, Trenner of the 85th, Clark of the 108th, Fry of the 122nd, Bernal of the 77th, and others, a bill relating to state veterinary education. House Bill 89 by Representative Cooper of the 45th, Wade of the 9th, Gamble of the 15th, Hong of the 103rd, a bill relating to the Department of Public Health. House Bill 90 by Representative Estration of the 104th, Dickey of the 134th, Hagan of the 156th, Buckner of the 137th, a bill relating to preferential assessment for bona fide conservation use property and bona fide residential transitional property. House Bill 91 by Representative Cooper of the 45th, Carpenter of the 4th, Jaspers of the 11th, Dickey of the 134th, Camp of the 135th, a bill relating to licensing. House Bill 92 by Representative Blackman of the 146th, Kelly of the 16th, Williams of the 148th, Irwin of the 32nd, Washburn of the 144th, and others, a bill relating to base year homestead exemption. House Bill 93 by Representative Smith of the 18th, a bill relating to the number of judges of superior courts. House Resolution 31 by Representative Leverett of the 123rd, Powell of the 33rd, a resolution honoring the life of Mr. R. George Strickland Jr. and dedicating a bridge in his memory. House Resolution 32 by Representative Estration of the 104th, Dickey of the 134th, Hagan of the 156th, and Buckner of the 137th, a resolution proposing an amendment to the Constitution so as to increase the maximum acreage to qualify for assessment and taxation as a bona fide conservation use property, through second readers.
Members, if you please take your seats. We're going to move on to morning orders. Members will please take your seats. Have some important morning orders. We have some visitors in the gallery we also want to recognize. You ready, Representative Sanchez? Are your folks here? Chair recognizes Representative Sanchez for a morning order. Member, if you'll give the member in the well your attention. We have some visitors in the gallery. We're glad to have them here. Representative.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Hello, everyone. I promise this one won't be as controversial, but today we have the Smyrna Youth Council here today, visiting us in the gallery and visiting the wonderful state legislature here. So I would love to give a big welcome to them. It's so exciting to see so many young folks getting civically engaged, because that's what we need for our communities. So if y'all will stand, please stand if you would like. Okay, help me give a big welcome. I hope y'all enjoy your stay here. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Thank you. It's good to have y'all here with us today, young people. Appreciate your presence in the chamber and in the Capitol. Representative Eric Bell. Representative Bell is recognized for a morning order. He has something for you.
Thank you, Speaker, for our recognition today. Members, colleagues, today on your desk I dropped a book called Win with the Word. The book was written by my grandmother, very own daughter of Georgia. During her time on this earth, she was an educator, entrepreneur, and worked in civil rights, particularly around teachers' rights and the desegregation of Grady Hospital. But particularly, this book is special to me because as we sit here, my grandmother's a reverend, but I'm not, so I'm not going to quote scripture, but somewhere in the book, the great book, the Bible, it says, before there was all of this stuff, there was the Word. So remember, when we're writing bills, when we're passing legislation, make sure we're putting the Word first. And throughout, you can look on the table of contents, and there's different things, regardless if it's here or in your life, that you can go through. And particularly, I would like to speak about warfare, because not only are we at spiritual warfare, we are economic warfare. We're at war against drugs, war against poverty. And even and look across this world, we can see war across this earth. So before I go, I just want to leave you with a scripture. Romans, where is it? Sorry, Speaker. Romans 10:17. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. Thank you. I yield the well.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Lisa Campbell is recognized for a morning order.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I welcome all
friends, yes.
friends. Yes, thank you. Good morning, everyone. This morning marks the 35th anniversary of the implementation of the Georgia Planning Act, which you may know about. And it was established that the state of Georgia should maintain an essential public interest in protecting and preserving our natural resources, the environment, and vital areas of the state, as well as serve these interests through coordinated and comprehensive planning by all local governments. Today, we are recognizing 6 cities who have achieved this designation, and they are here in the Capitol over in Cap 230 if you'd like to meet with them. We are proud to recognize and honor the city of Ackworth, the city of Alma, the city of Augusta, the city of Camilla, the city of Griffin, the city of Monroe, the city of Toccoa, and the city of Warner Robins. If you are in the gallery, please stand up, and we'd like to recognize you. Warner Robins, folks. Great to see you, Warner Robins. Thank you, everyone.
Great recognition. Cities from all over the state. Thank you, representatives. Representative Jones and Representative Hughley, the minority leader, has a recognition. Their folks aren't here because they have such a large crowd, but we're going to recognize them and let them come speak to the morning order. Representative Jones and Representative Hughley. And I think some other friends may join them as well. The lady is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, today is AKA Day at the Capitol, and we are hard to miss. As you move about the Capitol, you will see pink and green everywhere. We have members from all over the state of Georgia here to meet and greet their legislators. And we want to thank you all for the opportunity to come, and we want to thank you in advance for greeting our members as they say hello to you and try and get you to know them, but we want you to know, they want to get to know you, but we also want you to know them because they are leaders in their communities all across Georgia. So thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity to recognize them. They're over in the Senate right now, but we're going to make sure you see them before they go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leader. We have an important day coming up. Is it today? Oh, look, let's see that. Let's check it out. Oh, man. All right. Chairman Casey Carpenter is going to come speak to us, and then I'm going to really top that off. Oh, also Chairman Tarvin.
And Ridley around. And
anyone else from for Dalton Day? Gentleman's recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. All right, folks, you know what day it is, baby. It's Rug Day at the Capitol. Put your hands together. Rugs, not drugs. You know the drill. I've been saying that for 7-8 years now. Rugs, not drugs, baby. The carpet industry, an $8 billion industry. Northwest Georgia provides over 50% of the world's carpet and rugs. 46,000 jobs this industry provides.
And floor covering.
And hard surfaces now. So tonight, Freight Depot, 4 to 6. Come down, have something to eat, have something to drink, come get your rugs. We appreciate you, and we just want to give a shout out to the industry that's made such an impact on our community. We'll see you there tonight, folks.
That's cool, Rug. Let me see it again. Home sweet home. Awesome. Good stuff. We appreciate that. Those are great rugs. I sure put them to use at my house. Members, let me have your attention just for a moment, your full attention. We have a former member of this House, Chairman Tom Dixon, who's had a great career of public service. Hold it just a minute. Don't clap yet. Had a great career in public service as he served in this House. How many years did you serve, Tom? You came in with the best class that's come into this House. Absolutely. In our class. With Chief of Staff and Sheila Jones, Representative Jones, there she is, right over there. We all came in together a few years back. And he's gone on to continue serving his community as mayor, and is here, of course, today with GMA and doing great work with them. Chaired Education Appropriations when he was here. So a good man, great service to Georgia. Y'all stand with me and welcome a distinguished member of this House, former member of this House, Tom Dixon. Tom. All former members don't get this opportunity, but I'm going to let this one do it because he was so important in this House. Tom?
What I really wanted to say, first of all, it's always great to come back and see friends. I need to make some new friends because the old friends are leaving. But the other thing that I wanted to say, I have been eternally grateful that you elected this man as your speaker. You made a wise choice.
Thank you, Tom.
I think the world of you.
Appreciate you.
Anytime I can help.
Take care of yourself. We look forward to seeing you again soon. Don't be a stranger. That completes our morning orders and our recognitions. Mr. Clerk, will you read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions?
Honoring the life and memory of Marvin Gary Simmons. Honoring the life and memory of Emily L. Milner. Honoring several cities upon their designation as Georgia Plan First Communities, congratulating Kristen Ripp and Gavin Haslett in the 2024 Literary State Champions in Dramatic Interpretation, recognizing January 28th, 2025 as Bryan Day at the State Capitol, recognizing February 11th, 2025 as Sex Trafficking Awareness Day at the State Capitol, recognizing January 28th, 2025 as Gwinnett at Chamber Day at the State Capitol, recognizing and celebrating the 20th anniversary of Korean American Day at the State Capitol, honoring and commending the firefighters of Georgia and recognizing February 4, 2025 as Firefighters Recognition Day at the State Capitol, commending AHIMSA and gun violence, commending Mary D'Souza Sequeira, and congratulating the Chinese American Business Association of Atlanta upon its 32nd anniversary and recognizing and commending the Chin Hong School of Kung Fu, and commending the University of Georgia 4-H program, Kingston Riles, Melanie Beersmith, and the 2024-2025 4-H leadership teams, and recognizing February 25th, 2025 as 4-H Day at the State Capitol, and commending Kia's vehicle manufacturing and impact on the state, and recognizing January 28, 2025 as Kia Day at the State Capitol. And for other purposes, that completes the reading of the privilege resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolution? Chair hears none, and the resolutions are adopted. Members, if you'll return to your seats. Members, if you'll take your seats, we have a couple of resolutions that we're going to consider now that are very, very important, very solemn. So if members, if you will return to your seats, cease conversations. Give you just a moment to return to your seats. Today is Holocaust Remembrance Day. Chair Lady Silcox has an afternoon order. We will begin my afternoon orders by recognizing Representative Silcox, but first I'm going to ask the clerk if he'll read the caption to the resolution, and then you're recognized, Representative.
House Resolution 50
The members will stand, please.
by Representative Silcox, the 53rd, a resolution recognizing January 27, 2025 as International Holocaust Remembrance Day and for other purposes.
Representative Silcox is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, I rise today in recognition of International Holocaust Remembrance Day. We are honored today to have some important guests with us. Consul General Anat Sultan Dodan, as well as the Executive Director of the Georgia Commission on the Holocaust, Sally Levine, as well as Commission members Robert Widenstein, Manny Fialco, and David Burnbury. As a member of the Georgia Holocaust Commission on the Holocaust, I want to thank Speaker Burns and for all of this body for the passage of HB 30 a little over a year ago today. This bill defined anti-Semitism in Georgia so it can be prosecuted as part of a hate crime. I also thank God for the release of some of the hostages in Israel, and I pray for the release of all the hostages. It is important today to remember the Holocaust. The world stood silently in the 1930s and 40s as millions of Jews were murdered. This should never, ever happen again. The anti-Semitism that led to the Holocaust then is unfortunately alive and well today, especially given the attack on October 7th, 2023, and acts against the Jewish people since then worldwide. Today is also remarkable because it is the 80th anniversary of the liberation of the concentration camp Auschwitz-Birkenau. Please allow me to read the resolution that details this event. Whereas the Holocaust was a state-sponsored, systematic persecution and annihilation of European Jews by Nazi Germany and its collaborators between 1933 and 1945, resulting in the murder of over 6 million Jews, as well as the oppression and deaths of many others, including Roma, people with disabilities, and Polish people. And whereas in 1998, HB 1664 was passed by the Georgia legislature, establishing the Georgia Commission on the Holocaust as a permanent state agency, charging it with creating educational programs for citizens and operating as a secular, non-partisan entity. And whereas the Georgia Commission on the Holocaust is tasked with preserving the memory of the Holocaust, promoting public understanding of its history, and reminding citizens to remain vigilant against hatred, anti-Semitism, persecution, and genocide. And whereas January 27th, the anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz-Birkenau, is observed as International Holocaust Remembrance Day to memorialize these 6 million victims of the Holocaust and the others who were persecuted by the Nazis. Whereas January 27th marks the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, a critical time to honor the victims, survivors, and liberators while recognizing the lessons of Holocaust history amidst an alarming global rise in anti-Semitism. And whereas located in German-occupied Poland, Auschwitz consisted of 3 camps, including Birkenau, a killing center where over 1 million victims were systematically murdered by individuals and professionals involved in its operations. And whereas trains carrying Jews from Nazi-occupied land in Allied Europe regularly arrived at Auschwitz, where its leadership and workers conducted these systematic killings over nearly 5 years. And whereas in mid-45, as Soviet forces approached Auschwitz, SS units forcibly evacuated nearly 60,000 prisoners on death marches under brutal winter conditions, resulting in thousands of deaths from starvation, exposure, and violence. And whereas the Soviet army liberated Auschwitz, freeing the remaining 7,000 prisoners, many of whom were sick and dying, and ending the camp's operation, and whereas we, the people of Georgia, join communities throughout the world today in commemorating this very special International Holocaust Remembrance Day and honoring the victims, survivors, and liberators of the Holocaust. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and members of the House for your attention. I yield the well.
Ladies, yield the well. Thank you, members. Thank you, members of this House, for standing strong in support of our friends. Stories seldom told, soon forgotten. We must always tell the story of the Holocaust and how our greatest generation came together to stomp out that evil in the midst of our world. And our thoughts and prayers still go out to those survivors and their families. Thank you, Representative. We have another couple of remembrances of some lives that folks have gone on to be in a better place. So with that, I'm going to recognize Chairman Dickey. I'm going to ask the membership, if you will, stand again, please, for these next couple of
I'd like to ask
orders.
the Monroe County delegation. I don't see
Monroe County
here. Monroe County lost a longtime citizen last week, and I just wanted to recognize the life of Benson Ham, a former legislator in this body for 10 years. But he grew up in a little small unincorporated place called Smar in Monroe County, and got his legal degree and grew up there and practiced law there his entire life. But anything that went on in Monroe County for many years went through Benson Ham, and he was a great friend to that community. He loved it. He loved agriculture. He served here, as I said, for 10 years, followed by his son-in-law, I believe, Curtis Jenkins. But he's on the State Board of Elections for many years, chairman of the Monroe County Board of Education for 13 years, guided it through desegregation and funding for a new high school, and also so active in economic development. During his term, Plant Share located there, as well as Georgia Public Safety Training Center. That's the kind of man Benson Ham was. He went on to serve leader in rural electrification, chairman of the Central Georgia Electric Membership Cooperative, and president of the National Rural Utilities Finance Corporation. So Benson Ham, as well as the director for Farm Bureau, his resume, his obituary just went on and on and on. And just wanted to say thank you, Benson, for all the work you did for Monroe County for 93 years and his entire family. He was a real stalwart of that community. So let's have a moment of silence, if you would. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Chairman Dickey, if you remain in the well, I think you have another afternoon order.
I think could I do that another day?
Another day, okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. If you remain standing, I'm going to recognize Representative Kelly for a remembrance.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, members of the House. Friday, just a day after his 90th birthday, the Polk County community lost one of our most treasured citizens in the passing of Guy Rutland. Mr. Rutland was married to his wife, Linda, for over 44 years. They had 2 children together, Ashley and Judd. Mr. Rutland was a remarkable individual. He was a teacher and coach for over 33 years. He graduated from Cedartown High School, Jacksonville State University. He was really proud of his Gamecocks and got his master's from Middle Tennessee State University. He was also a farmer, an entrepreneur. He started Christmas Tree City, where he sold Christmas trees for over 47 years. After his career in teaching and coaching, he remained active in our community as a member of the Retired Teachers Association, our Cattlemen Association, and was just beloved by all who knew him. I was honored to call him a friend, and while our work today will keep me from attending his funeral, today I want his family to know that they're in our thoughts and our prayers. If you'll please join me in a moment of silence for Mr. Guy Rutland. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield the well.
Thank you, Representative. And our thoughts and prayers do go out to those, but also thank you all for recognizing these folks. Members, you can be seated. For lives well lived, thank you for your respect, members, as the members that came to the well to honor these families. Okay, we have another great honor. Chairman Martin coming down with some friends from the University of Georgia, UGA. Chairman Martin, so if you're a friend of University of Georgia, it'd be a good time for you to show up here. Representative Evans, I know you are as well. You're a double dog, aren't you? Yeah. Todd Jones is coming up. Come on down, brother. Oh, he's at least standing. You're about to get the full crowd down here, Chairman Martin. I thank you. Here comes the Majority Leader. We need you down here, Majority Leader. I think you're a dog fan as well. If you give the gentleman in the well your attention. Important announcement. Chairman Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. After those solemn remembrances, I bring something that we can celebrate and something that I hope was a part of those folks' lives. Today, January 27th, 2025, is the 240th anniversary of the University of Georgia, founded in 1785. The University of Georgia is chartered in 1785 as the birthplace of higher education in America, launching our nation's tradition of world-class education. The charter was established by the University of Georgia as the nation's first state university, and today public education creates tens of millions of informed citizens. UGA is the number 16 public university in the country. It has over 50 Marshall and Rhodes Scholars and other prestigious postgraduate scholarship, and is the top five universities for getting products to market. More than these things, and more than a land and a building, UGA is a tradition, and it grows stronger every year with every student and every class. I asked you to give the University of Georgia on its 240th birthday a round of applause and our thanks for leading our state. Go Dogs! Sick 'em! Woo, woo, woo.
Good job.
Good job.
Congratulations on a fabulous land grant university. Thank you for that, Representative Chairman Martin. Representative Reese. Representative Teddy Reese. Members, if you'll give the gentleman about to be in the well your attention. Suspend just for a second, sir. Let me. Another important announcement. Representative Reese.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much for this opportunity to stand here today
Today we recognize this weekend the celebration of the founding of a very important organization, especially for the growth and development of African American children, and that is Jack and Jill of America. Jack and Jill was founded in 1938 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with initially 10 chapters. We now have 271 chapters across the United States of America, representing 50,000 kids here in the United States. Last year, we were represented by an amazing president who served us from Columbus, Georgia. And this year, we are honored to be under the leadership of President Darlene McGee Whittington, right here from Atlanta, Georgia. So, Mr. Speaker, it is true. Some of the best leadership comes right here from the Peach State. Thank you so much for your opportunity.
No doubt about that. We can all agree on that. Thanks for what Jack and Jill Foundation is doing. That completes our afternoon orders. Now we'll move on to announcements. We'll give you a couple for you to be ready to be on deck. We're going to start with Representative Betsy Holland. Representative Hollins is up. Then Representative Henderson, Representative Clark, and Representative F. Stration are on deck. Representative Betsy Holland is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So just a reminder for the House Atlanta delegation, we will be having a delegation meeting upon adjournment in room CLOB 502, the Atlanta delegation. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Representative Henderson. She was on deck, no doubt. Ladies recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tuesday, February 4th is a very big day here at the Capitol. World Cancer Prevention Day at the Capitol. In recognition of breast cancer survivors and those that are going through treatment, and prostate cancer survivors and those that are going through treatment. We're asking women in notation of breast cancer to please wear pink, and men to please wear blue in recognition of those that are going through prostate cancer. We thank you, we support you, we want them to know we love them, and we pray for them in Jesus' name. Remember them, remember there is no cure for cancer, but early detection saves lives. Early detection saved my life. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative, and I hope everyone will heed those messages. We're glad you early detected. Representative Jasmine Clark is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I actually have a couple of announcements. Georgia Future Caucus, tomorrow at noon, we will be having the Future Caucus lunch. In case you're wondering who is the Future Caucus, it is any legislator age 45 and under. Also, tomorrow at noon, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the Gwinnett delegation will meet as well.
Thank you, Representative. Leader F. Stration is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The committee chairman's lunch is on Wednesday this week. If you're a chair of a committee, it's on Wednesday. And if you would just let my office know if you will be attending, we would very much appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative David Clark. Then we'll have Representative Hilton, Cummings, and Meeks on deck. Representative Clark.
Wanted to invite all the House members tomorrow from 8 to 12 noon. Tomorrow we'll be supporting Georgians with prosthetic and orthotic healthcare challenges, known better as Georgia Limb Loss and Limb Difference Awareness Day at the Capitol. And we have two big superstars coming down. The first one he'll be here from 8:30 to 9:30 in the morning. Mohamed Massaquoi, he had played for Georgia, Go Dogs, played in the NFL, and he lost a hand in an ATV accident. So he'll be here 8:30 to 9:30. Take pictures, meet him, he'll be here. And then we also have from 8 a.m. to 12 noon, a three-time Paralympian and bronze medal winner, Jared Wallace, he'll be here. So we'd love to have you come out. This event is known as So Everybody Can Move. It will feature advocates, healthcare providers, university programs, hospitals, and most important, the patient. So please come out tomorrow, 8 a.m. it starts, 8:30 to 9:30. Mohamed Massaquoi, and come meet the Olympian also. Thank you all.
Excuse me, Representative, where will that be?
It'll be on the south steps, second floor.
South
so
step.
thank you all.
Oh, cool, thank you. Representative Hilton, Chairman Hilton, recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow, Intuitive Surgical will be here on campus. Thanks to Georgia's friendly business environment, Intuitive Surgical recently moved their East Coast global hub to Peachtree Corners, bringing over 1,000 jobs with them. Intuitive Surgical manufactures the Da Vinci device. They will have their truck here tomorrow where you will have a chance to actually use the Da Vinci device. They allowed me to operate on pigs recently. I have no idea if we'll have any livestock out there, but you'll have a chance to use the Da Vinci device, see that, get to know Intuitive Surgical. As a thanks to their visit, I know some of you are accident prone. We do have a little first aid kit here. Enjoy that over the next 40 days and get out and visit. They'll be on Mitchell Street, right between CLOB and the Capitol. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Representative Terry Cummins is recognized for an announcement.
The Cobb delegation will meet in Club 510 at 12 noon. Thank you.
Chairman Meeks, you got something coming up that's really important, don't you? It's a big day. No, I'm going to bring you back. I want you to come back on the other one so we can get all of you at one time. Okay. But talk about who you got in town today, whom you have in town. Quite the event. I think it's Chairman Hitchens' favorite event to go to.
I do believe that's correct, Mr. Speaker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last year some of you were a little disappointed when the Alma-Bacon County delegation came up and did their annual cookout over at the IBEW building because you missed it. Well, that will be tomorrow, January 28th, beginning at 5 o'clock until. Now, you have the invite on your desk. Looks like they've added a new couple of new things this year, including roadkill and pine tar. So, Colonel, I don't know what they'll be putting it in, but I hope we'll all come out and enjoy it. So, ladies and gentlemen, please join Alma-Bacon County, the blueberry capital of the world, tomorrow, 5 o'clock until the IBEW building for their annual seafood cookout. Thank you.
Did you say pine tar?
It's what the menu ingredient says, yes, sir.
Well, I'm looking forward to that one. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Representative Gamble. There you are. Recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow morning we'll kick off the fellowship for the first time this year at 7 a.m. in the House Judiciary Committee Room, which is Capitol 132 downstairs. And I want to invite all members that would like to pray and fellowship to be with us in the morning. It's a powerful group, and I think you'll get a lot out of it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Pay attention to that group. Representative Cannon, Representative Park Cannon is recognized for an announcement. Give the lady your attention, please.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, the Fulton County delegation will meet. That's 22 of us here in the House. We have to have quorum in order to do our elections and also to sign our rules to get them in. It'll be at 4 o'clock in Capitol Room 216. If you need a digital access link, please let Representative Inga Willis know, or Representative Bryce Berry, or Representative Makia McQueen. The meeting should take no longer than 30 minutes. That is for the Fulton County House delegation and the Fulton County House Board of Education delegation. 22 members and 19 members. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative Cannon. Representative Bazemore, you need to come down and help? You good?
I get it. Thank you.
You got it. You're tough. Representative Bazemore is recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just a reminder to the City of South Fulton delegation, our meeting will be at 2 o'clock in room 514. 2 o'clock, 514, and lunch will be provided. Thank you.
5:14 at 2 o'clock. Thank you, Representative. All right, members, as y'all know, we had a little bit of inclement weather last week. So we are going to have to speed up the process. So we're going to have to begin some very important meetings, appropriations meetings. So I'm going to let the chairs of those subcommittees come up now. We'll start with Representative Gullett to come up and give you some information about the timing on his meetings. Representative Gullett.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Today, the Appropriations Subcommittee on Judicial will meet at 1 o'clock in the CLOB, room 406. Again, 1 o'clock CLOB for the Subcommittee on Judicial. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
1 o'clock, 406 LOB, Judicial Subcommittee. Gotcha. Chairman Meeks, you're recognized for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your House Subcommittee Appropriations and Economic Development will meet at 1 o'clock and 341 here in the Capitol. 1 o'clock, 341, House Subcommittee on Economic Development. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Speaker.
Representative Hitchens, you have an announcement. You're just going to talk about Alma-Bacon County. You can do both.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The truth is, Alma-Bacon County is probably the best night. And insofar as the roadkill concerned, I may have partaken through the years in a little bit of roadkill, but today I tell people I'm roadkill on the information highway. I'm so old, this computer generation is taking me aback. But today at 1 o'clock, the Public Safety Appropriations Subcommittee will meet in room 415. Public Safety Appropriation, room 415 CLOB at 1 o'clock.
Representative Corbett has an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Motor Vehicles Committee will meet at 8 o'clock in the morning, room 606. We'll be adopting our committee rules and getting an update from DOR and DDS in the morning. Thank y'all.
I had you down for an appropriations announcement. You could be. You may want to be, huh? But be careful. Be careful what you ask for. It may come true. That completes our announcements. No more announcements. Now, I don't think we have any birthdays, do we? Nobody. Does anybody need to fess up that they have a birthday today? I don't think so. Majority Leader is recognized for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move that this House stand adjourned until 10 a.m. on Tuesday, January 28, 2025.
Before I acknowledge the Majority Leader's motion, I want to remind all of the members tomorrow that we have a joint session with the Senate as we hear from the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Georgia, the gentleman who is a former member of this House who swore us all in a couple weeks ago, Chief Justice Boggs. So make sure you're here and your seats on time. On the motion of the Majority Leader, this House stand adjourned until Tuesday, January 28th at 10 a.m. All those in favor of that motion will say aye. Y'all love it here, don't you? All those opposed will say no. No. The ayes clearly have it. We're adjourned. Thank y'all for your attention. Down front, we do have pages today. We'll have some page photos.